Okay, well, we just went live and I got to sneeze. Don't you love that? I mean, I sneezed a couple times before. I thought I was done. But if I sneeze and I don't mute, I apologize in advance. But it happens. And I am in Discord right now. Yes, I'm in the Great Debate Community Discord in the live streaming channel. If you're interested in popping on in. Oop, let me turn that off real quick. Oh, it does. You know what? I just noticed it puts my cough in on the video, even though I wasn't actually going live there. So I thought when you hit live, that's when it starts the stream, but I guess it has a few seconds before I hit live, I was coughing and sneezing, and it actually recorded that on the video. Strange. I have to be more cognitive of that and aware of that. But anyways, it's Sunday. I'm going to do a little flying here and help you, have you guys help me figure some stuff out on this particular game called FlightGear 2020 3.3.8. I am a little bit more used to Microsoft Flight Sim. However, 2020 is out of my budget right now, and I wouldn't use it that often to really invest in it. Even though it looks amazing and way beyond my capabilities. I am just learning VFR flight stuff. I've tried before several years ago. So I'm a complete novice at flying. But I find it fun. I find it interesting. I like the concepts. I really, really enjoy the concepts. And so that's where I'm kind of coming from. But I do have an issue with trying to figure out one big problem that I'm having with this particular game, and that is with the Cessna 172 Skyhawk. I've tried this flight gear before many times. I never got it to work right. This is the best time I ever got it to work. I mean, I have gotten other planes to work now, so I can use it now. I figured out the little nuances to get it to work. It is free software. It's GNU public license, so it's not like it's maintained by some big organization. But it is free. It's something you download. But it has a major problem that I've noticed on the Cessna that I and somebody else had experienced as well. Segmentation fault. Downloaded the game. He experienced it as well. So it wasn't just my imagination. It has to do with the P factor, which is basically a torque that you have because your propeller on a single prop plane, which is usually compensatable with the rudder. I have auto coordination on, but it doesn't do it. Now, I will be doing two different planes. I'll be doing the 208 Bravo Grand Caravan. I'll be doing the Cessna 172 Skyhawk. And maybe you guys could figure it out. And somebody says it might work better in Linux. It might. Look, I like Linux, and this is open source software. It should work fine on Linux. But anyways, we're just going to start this off and make sure you guys can hear everything okay. I have this set for LAX, but I'm going to change it. I'm going to go to Ontario. And I'm not that far from Ontario Airport. Matter of fact, I'll be flying out of Ontario Airport within a little about a month, give or take. Yeah. A little over a month. I have gotten tickets to fly out of Ontario. Can't say where I'm going yet, but I am going somewhere. Yeah, I have the bin distributions, Jen. I don't have the source code, which would be fine for Linux. But anyway, like I said, it's not the program. I don't think it's the program. It's weird because, like I said, segmentation fault downloaded the same exact thing, and he was the same problem on takeoff. Normally on the takeoff, and again, I'm completely novice at flying. I'm just now learning this stuff, so take everything I say with an absolute grain of salt, because I am not a pilot at all. But normally on the takeoff, right, you basically can control it with the rudder, and then you can just fly straight out from the runway. But you get a little P factor on it because of the torque, because of the propeller spinning. So you do get a torque that's on the obviously created because you have something spinning. I'm going to change the plane real quick, actually. Well, because I didn't want this plane, I wanted the other plane. Can you change the plane mid thing? I don't know if you can. I usually have to log back to the. Let's see here. How do I go back to the other one? I don't want location. How do I? I haven't figured out how to go back to the main screen from this particular game. I'm still learning it without exiting the game and coming back. I mean, I guess I could quit, but that seems odd that I have to quit to get the other game. But I guess we could do that. So let's try that. I mean, it's free, so I mean, what? Can't expect everything. Okay, so I'm going to go with the Cessna. Okay, now I should be in the Cessna on KLX. I was in the Skyhawk there for a second. Can you guys see this? Yeah, you should be able to see it. Okay. Took a few seconds there. And by the way, if you know about avionics and planes and all that stuff, come in the Discord and help me out here. Please, I would be greatly appreciative. Make sure this is capturing this. There we go. I know you got a blank screen real quick, but it'll come in a second.
Welcome aboard. Need help? Use help tutorials.
All right, so this is the kind of the generic plane that comes with it. This is the Cessna 127, and I'm just gonna do a quick startup. I mean, you can auto start this up here with auto start, but I'm gonna do the startup myself. See if we get it right. Yeah, no, I still kill Kerbals. They deserve to die. Kerbals don't have any purpose. I was playing Kerbal Space Program, a couple weeks ago, actually. I wasn't streaming it, but I still play it. It's a fun game. All right, so let's see if I can remember the takeoff procedures. Now, it's not about the realism. It's just that I want to make sure we do everything right. So you get the checklist out, right? We're going to do this from scratch, but you guys can help me out. So I got my checklist out, got my pre-flight inspection plan, available in the airport. Yes, my plane's here. Parking brake is set. That's down here. One thing about this game, you got to keep hitting tabs. So one tab gives you the flight controls, and you can see I have auto coordination on from the yoke to the rudder controls. And then one controls the view and direction. And then the third time allows you to click things. So that I find to be very, not confusing, but you really have to pay attention, because if you're in the view direction here and you're trying to fly the plane and you're like, oh, pull up, pull up, pull up, you're going to die. You're going to die. I can't do a barrel roll when I don't have flight control. So you got to know which one you're in. I wish they had done a little bit better job in kind of like selecting that way, because you got to keep pushing tab to get what you want. But anyways, the parking brake's set. That's the parking brake down here. So let's see here. Control lock remove. It's something down here, but it doesn't have it in this plane. So this plane doesn't have if existing. This plane doesn't have a control lock. Magnetos are off. Avionics are off. Battery switch is off right now. That's down here. I'll turn that on when I go to the. Well, I guess I could turn it on here because it's part of the pre-flight. Let's see here. Battery master shift off. Okay, so that's just checking that you have control of it. I'm not going to get outside and do the aircraft inspection. You can. There's a door here, but we'll just assume that it does. It's stable. It's been inspected. No, like I said, for pilots out there that actually fly, I do love the realism of these games. Again, I don't actually fly. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I do like reading about the concepts. So I'll kind of talk about them a little bit. You also have to take into account your gross weight and your center of gravity, your CG. So every plane, you've got to figure out how much weight you have in the fuel tanks as much that you need to get to your destination plus reserve. I think you need about 45 minutes of reserve by FAA standards, and then you have to determine where your center of gravity is going to be. If you're able to have your maximum gross weight, and I find that stuff to be pretty specific, right? Because when you're flying, it reminds me of the military. The military is detail oriented, right? When you're doing your logs, you are logging every little thing. I mean, an average time to take logs take about 20 minutes, depending on your workstation and your watch. The roving watch can take longer because you got to go all around the ship. But if you're in the engine room and you're standing, let's say, turbine generator watch, it takes you quite a while to go through and look at every gauge and setting. So I understand how gauges work, right? I mean, I did study, actually. Listen to something I literally did study how gauges work with material flow meters and pressure gauges and the concepts of calibrations. And so that much I get. And when you're actually flying, all this detail goes in this. All this has to be recorded. How much fuel you're taking off with. Your flight plan. Now, I'm doing VFR, which is visual flight flying, not IFR, which is instrument flight, right? So I don't really know how to use the instruments very well. I get the concepts for the OBS, but right now we're under VFR, which is visual flight rules. So which means that I'm just going to be flying by using visual stuff like navigational aids, like roads and things like that nature. I kind of get the idea, the understanding for the VRs and the radials and the vectoring and DMEs and things of that nature. But I would love to have an actual pilot come in and talk about these particular topics. I think it would be very fun. But anyways, let's go to the pre-engine start. That's been completed. Do I have fuel levels? Yes, I have fuel. I have oil. I'm not on the water. My brakes, I will test my brakes real quick, which are down here. So, oops, that's not my brakes. I want the carb cold. Brakes. There we go. So that's the brakes. You guys see that? Down here is a cutoff. It's cut off on my video. Let me fix that so you guys can see this. There we go. Now you guys can see it. So that's my brakes here. Woo! Let me pan down a little bit. There we go. I'm watching the feed too, so now you guys can see that. And there's also your regular brakes too, but this is your emergency brake, right? Okay. So your circuit breakers, which are all down here, you're supposed to check these. Boom, boom. The rule of thumb, from what I understand, when you're flying, is if the circuit breaker pops once, you pop the back end. If it pops twice, you don't, because then you can get electrical fire. That would be bad. So I checked all those, and then I'm going to go to starting engine. And this is what kills me in this game. I've gone through all this stuff, and then I try to take off, and the game just takes me off the runway every single time. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. But I want to do this from the very scratch. So battery master switch is on. Flashing beacons. My beacon lights are okay. Where's it on this Cessna here? Beacon lights. There's my beacon lights. That's on. My strobe. I'm gonna turn my strobe on. I'm gonna turn my navigation lights on. I'm gonna turn make sure my taxi lights are off because I'm on the runway. My landing lights are off because I'm on the runway. All right, so I think we're in good condition there. So I'm gonna prime this a couple times. I don't know if you can hear. It's really, really light. Makes a really kind of creaking noise. Yeah, I know wolf flies. All right, so I'm going to open my throttle 1/8 of an inch as my throttle here. So I'm going to move that in just about. Oh, that's way too far. We're going to put it about there. We'll put it at 25, I guess. And rich is your mixture. Right now it's at lean. I'm going to go full richness, which I guess the richness as you go higher up, like 4,000 feet, you want to run more lean so you get better efficiency for your motor. All right, so magnetos are down here. Magnetos, I don't know if you know anything about cars, but cars use a distributor. They use a battery. Here you have a magneto that produces its own electrical charge for the distribution of the spark plugs. So it basically it has its own electronics, electric spark. And so that's what the magnetos does. So I have to turn the magnetos on both. And you're supposed to test them to make sure that you can run off one magneto. So I'm not going to do that, but I will check. We got oil pressure here. That will come up here. I got to start. So starting the plane. Woo! My oil pressure's coming up here. That's good. Now again, I have all the failures off, so I'm not worried about a failure of oil, and I don't know anything about emergency procedures other than pray. So the agnostic's praying. Who are you praying to? Yeah. You can actually set this for realism, where you can lose like your gyroscope, and you can lose your vacuum pressure, which means you lose all your six-pack, which are your main consoles here. You've got your speed indicator, you got your altitude, so you got your horizon indicator, you've got your altitude or altimeter, you've got your wing levels. So you call it wing coordinator. You've got your compass, and then you have your vertical speed indicator, which tells you how high and low you're going. If you're going pitch up, pitch down, but how fast. Normally about takeoff, I believe it's about 3 degrees you want. And then these are your on the side over here, you've got your navigation instruments, which is your OBS for VR flying and things of that nature, which I'm not going to get into because I don't know much about it, and I'm doing VFR anyways, so whatever. All right, so that's check. And then your alternator to master switch on. Okay, we can turn on the alternator. You turn on the battery first, right? That's how you're going to get your initial avionic stuff. And then after you get your engine started, you can turn on the alternator, because then your battery gets charged off the alternator. My navigation and flash and beacon, I do have on already. Those are down there. Avionics power switch is right here, so now I'm going to turn my avionics on. That's going to light up on my radios, my navcom. my distance things. It doesn't turn on your squawk. It doesn't turn on your transponder though. I'm going to manually turn my transponder on. Okay. I'm sorry, that's my autopilot, not my transponder. My transponder's down here. There we go. There we go. And squawk 2400, which basically your squawk is your code that they'll say, okay, squawk 2400, so they know that they're talking to your plane, and then you indent if you can't, like for example, if you lose your radio, ATC will say indent, and that means you can hear them, and you put your code in for, like, example, you lose. And again, not a pilot, don't trust me on any of this shit. This is just from what I understand. If you lose your communications, I think it's squawk 7600. If you're hijacked, it's 7500. And there's other things, like if they say squawk, 2400 indent, you basically, you can push a button and it shows them that you are receiving, but you can't transmit in case you lose your radio communications to them. These are my Navcom radios up here. Okay, so COM 1 and COM 2. Now, one thing about these games I've noticed, I don't know how people play these games without going to the internet, because the internet has all these frequencies for all these different airports, and they're all matched up. Now, it does have some, again, Microsoft Flight Simulator has a lot more technical stuff. This one, I don't know how you're supposed to do it. It tells you the ATC services in range, right? Like I'm at KLX, and so it'll tell me my frequencies for here. So I can set COM 1 to the tower. Ground would be if I'm tracked. Again, not a pilot here, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Hopefully we have some pilots in the live chat there. I think I've seen one. I think Jens is a pilot. So Jens can correct me if I'm right or wrong. Please do. Or come into the Discord and talk in real time. But if I'm communicating with ground control, that'd be from taxiing. If I'm doing arrivals and departures, I'm going to be on the tower frequencies. ATIS is an automatic service that gives you weather conditions, right? Automatic transmit. What is automatic tower information system? I think it stands for. Automatic terminal information system. That's what it stands for. Okay. And then my SoCal approach and departure. I'm not sure what Clinic Del is. I don't remember. Unicom is I think the old frequencies they used to use. That if you're, or no, Unicom is if the station is not manned. I think they use the Unicom frequencies if it's like closed down for the night or something. But anyways, no big deal. But I'm gonna set this to the tower, and I'm gonna set it for departure. My COM 2. My radios are on. Right. Okay. So I'm getting ready for before takeoff. Set my parking brakes. They are set. Cabin doors are closed and locked. Yes. There's my. Oops. Cabin doors are locked. Line instruments check. Mixture rich. Fuel selector valves. Recheck both. This one doesn't have fuel selector valves, I don't think. Now on the other Cessna, they're up on the very top up there, but I don't know if this has fuel selector valves. Right? I mean, I'm trying to click it and it doesn't show where they're at, so I don't think the Cessna 127 allows you to do that. Elevator trim set for takeoff. The trim is down here. I think you're supposed to set it for takeoff, right? About something along those lines. I'm not very good at trim, so I'm not sure where to set that. What should my elevator trim be for Cessna? I don't remember. I think it was like 0.2 something, wasn't it? This is why you have a book that tells you all these things. Takeoff trim should be 0.07. Alright, that sounds good. We'll go 0.07. Oops. Okay. Wait. Yeah, 0.007, I think it said. Okay. Alright, so... But then again, it should be... Oh, you know what? Automatically set it. There you go. What is it supposed... I forgot you can automatically set it. What does it say here? Yep, dang it. Alright, so it's actually 0.1. It's actually a bit higher, it says. I thought it was 0.7. It was supposed to be or something. Alright, so throttle to 1700 RPM. Alright, well, I'm going to use my keyboard for that because it's just easier, which is page up. Okay, so I'm throttling up. I'm going to go normal takeoff. Look back up here, and now you're going to watch me crash. Well, I don't usually crash, but the takeoff is bizarre in this plane because I can't figure out the p-value. This is what I need you guys for. So right now, I have my throttle up, I have my brakes on. I'm going to go full throttle up. I am going to put my flaps at 10%, 10 degrees, which is down here. The reason you do that is on the Cessna 176, it gives you more lift. You'll be doing that to about 400 feet, I believe. Again, not a pilot. Don't take anything that I'm saying as accurate, okay? Because if you listen to me, you're gonna die in real life. Don't do that. I play Sims. All right, so we're gonna go full throttle here. Disengage the brake. And now watch what happens here. I'm going to be taxiing down the runway here. And as soon as it gets, oh, look at that, it goes off every single time. I'm using my rudder, I'm using my coordinators, and it pulls. Now, it usually pulls to the left, it's not pull to the right, but now I've got to take off. And it does it every time in this stupid Cessna. The p-value is so great, I cannot go straight, and segmentation fault had the exact same problem. Now, I'm going to go at about a 3-degree climb here, due west in a minute here, because actually due east. I'm flying out of LAX, so I'm actually going east because I want to go to Ontario Airport, which is east of here. But notice that, how the hell do you supposed to take off in this plane? It's ridiculous. It does it to me every time. The other plane, I don't do that. I can go pretty well straight. Now, I'm just, like I said, I'm just going to set this for about a 3-degree VSI, full throttle, as I climbed about, maintain 4,000 feet, give or take. I usually fly this particular plane between 3,000 and 5,000 feet. It can go much higher. Now, when I'm doing what's called an ILS or instrument landing, then you want to be probably between 4,000 and 6,000 feet when you're on the glide slope. But I'm not going to be doing that. But that's kind of where I fly this plane. So, oh, you're not seeing? Oh, you're not seeing this? You're not? Oh, okay. Well, I'm watching the outside chat and it's not working. Let me try to reset this. What's going on here, OBS? You guys didn't see any of that, did you? Let's try that again. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't show that. I have it for window capture. Let's try it again, letting hypocrite. I'm resetting this and then see if it shows. Okay, now can you
Welcome aboard.
Can you
Need
see this?
help? Use help tutorials.
Make sure everybody can see this properly. I'm changing all the views. I'm moving it up and down. Oh, see, it's not changing the views on my OBS. Oh, interesting. Well, you know what I'm gonna have to do? Oh no, there it goes. Oh wait, sort of. Let me pan down here and see if it does that. No, see, it doesn't. Well, that is interesting. I'm gonna have to do something else here. I'm gonna go with instead of a window capture, I'm gonna do a display capture instead. Okay, now let me try the display capture. Okay, display. Okay, well the display capture works better. All right, so let's go through that again. I'm not gonna do the whole checklist. I'm just gonna turn this stuff on manually. You could, like I said, you could do an auto start, but I'm not going to. Set the flaps 10%. Let's do a prime. Assume I already did the checklist because I already did. Oops, I need the throttle. Oops, I need my mixture full too. Start up, baby, start up. You guys are, you guys know that sound when you have your car and you're like, please start up, right? Please start up. I'm turning on my beacon lights and my strobe light. I'm turning on my avionics. Set my rate. See, sometimes when I hit AT services in range, it doesn't show my AT services. I noticed that as well. I go up to here and I go to my ATC services in range. It doesn't show me them. I'm like, what the hell? How am I supposed to know my AT? Now, granted, I can do it manually. I have all the charts and I have all the web pages and stuff like this. And you can actually port this to your 8080 HTTP port, and it'll actually map in real time to your local server, which is kind of interesting. But my comms are not what they should be right now. They should be on departure and tower, but I don't know what they are because it's not bringing up my ATC. So that kind of sucks. Not sure why that is. So, again, a bug that I've noticed in this game, sometimes the AI works where you can ask for AT service in range, sometimes it doesn't. I can manually set the radio if I want to, but I don't know the frequencies without looking it up. I don't remember the tower frequencies and the ground frequencies for LAX. But I can go to my GPS settings if I wanted to. I just go. I fly by GPS, which I try to do. I can set that. I can link to the navigation, and then set my bearing to just do a straight out departure to Ontario at a bearing of 60. This really doesn't work too well. On your OBS, from what I understand, you could be plus or minus 4 degrees anyways, so you just have to get it close, like 0.59 degrees is close enough to 60, because you have a 4-degree tolerance. But we're not going to be flying by OBS anyways. We're going to do a direct route, if I even get that far, because I'll show you guys what this does now. Alright, so I'm going to set my flaps to 10 degrees for takeoff. I'm going to turn, I got to turn my alternator on. That would help, right? Alright, so my parking brake is now off. Let's see, my parking brake is my parking brake, if you guys didn't see it before. Alright, so that's off. Now watch what happens, and this happens every single time in this plane. Doesn't happen in the 208 Sky Caravan or the Grand Caravan, but it happens in this plane, and I know it's a P factor, and I know it's the torque, but I don't know why. So I'm going to go full throttle, and even with rudder and yoke control, I will go off the runway every single time. So here we go. I'm just going to even ease into it. I got a little rudder, got my 0 for my rudder, got a little bit more rudder, and look what happens every single time. Look at that. Every single time. Now, I can still take off at a 3-degree incline on my VSI, but if this was real life, this would be what we call a possible pilot deviation, and then ground control says, or tower control says, please call this number. I don't want that. So I'm going to get back onto this. This is the IFR, by the way, coming in from the other side of the other runway. I think this is the 8R, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm just going to fly out this way, as pretending that I actually left the runway appropriately. Right? So, but I'm going to increase altitude to about 4,000 feet at a 3-degree incline. And if you look on the middle there, the horizon, those little, on the artificial horizon there, that right there, if I'm not mistaken, is 5 degrees? Is it 3 degrees or 5 degrees on the horizon indicator? Let's find out here. I think it's 5 degrees notch. Yeah, it's 5 degrees. So I'm going to try to level my wings from my level coordinator here. Okay, I should be flying level at 5 degrees. This is not normal flying, YouTube sir, in general. I literally went off the runway. That's not how it's supposed to be. Now, I fly this Cessna at about, I try to get about 125 knots is my average airspeed. I got to take off my flaps. That would help too. Usually I think it flaps about 400 feet off the ground. I should have calibrated my altimeter based upon the barometric pressure for where I was at, but I assumed that was done. That A right there that's flashing, that noise, means that I'm at the inner marker. That M means I'm at the middle marker, which normally when you're flying in, you would use those to catch that glide slope. But yes, I do have the cheat on, so you can see the glide slope, because again, I'm learning this game. So I do have the cheat on to show where the glide slope would actually be. And then you would use your nav 2 to actually determine how to fly into that glide slope. And it tells you if you're over or under, right or left, and flying ILS is hard. I'm not going to front. But anyways, I've got it pretty level. I've got a nice 5-degree incline at about 105 knots. And I'm just going to keep this cruising up there to about 4,000. Now, there are some map things you can have in the game here. Now, if you go to map here, this gives you an in-game map. Kind of tells you where the VRs are, and it tells you where the Vortex are, which are VRs with military type of stuff and DME, distance measuring equipment. But what I'm kind of trying to go is to where I'm at, which is Orlando, not Orlando, so Ontario Airport, like I said, which I in real life be flying out of next month. Well, I'm just going to kind of keep this at a constant thing here until I get enough airspeed, and then once I reach about 5,000 feet, I kind of pull back on the throttle a little bit. I don't really adjust the mixture, and I probably should, but I want to keep it at about 125 airspeed from what I understand. Yeah, I go right over like different locations, like right by my house too. I flew right over my house, and it doesn't show it very well, but it does show the city. You can't see the altimeter? The altimeter is right next to the artificial horizon. It's at 3,200. Now I'm flying fair weather conditions. I don't do any instrument flying, so I don't want any like what's called instrument meteorological conditions, IMC. I don't like that. I will die. So I'm just doing straight VFR. But I'm going to tab out for a second here. Look at my map here. See, I hate tabbing back in and out because what happens is you lose your control. But I am flying due east, so this takes me pretty close to Ontario. It tells you that you're flying. Well, you're flying. So if I hit my radio controls, Compton Woodley Unicom, you can. Again, the ATC on this is not that great. It's not like Microsoft that has like real ATC people that actually do this for you. There's a program that they use that will pretend they're ATC, and they are actual ATC controllers. Some of them, they know exactly what they're doing, right? But I'm not doing anything with this, so I'm just going to say something like that. Yeah. So if you look right there, my 6-pack on this one is pretty easy. It's just straight 3.3. So I've got the speed indicator, my artificial horizon, my altimeter, my wing coordinator, my compass, and my vertical speed indicator right there dead center. Now I'm going to switch over to the other plane here in a second because I'm not really flying any VRs right now. Normally I should be able to go to ATC services up here, but like I said, sometimes it doesn't show me the AT services in range. Oops, shit. See what happens when you tab out? We're blacking out here, get a couple G-forces, then I'm starting to stall. That's a stall right there. That's bad sound. You don't want that sound. So I just pulled out of that stall real quick. But this is what I'm saying. When you got to switch between your tabs. So when I move this around, I'm not flying anymore. So it's really difficult for me to coordinate that. But I definitely don't want to stall. I usually keep my view right about there. But I haven't even reached 5,000 to level off it, Yeah, the flight scenery in this game is crappy compared to Microsoft. Like, clearly. But I really hate the fact that the AI sucks so bad. Because, I can manually put the stuff in the radio. I do have all the frequencies for Ontario Airport and the ILS frequencies. Ontario doesn't have ILS coming in from the east, and I think it only has it from the west, which I'm coming in from. But I think the tower for Ontario is 118.2, I think, and the ILS is 110.2, I think. But again, I didn't check, so I should have checked before I did this. I looked at it yesterday though. But let me pause the game real quick and let me go to my navigation here. One sec. So navigation, ILS frequency for Ontario. Ontario International Airport, using the usually use the Pomona Vortac, but I'm not going to do that. Runway 8L is ILS. What is the frequency? I think it's 110 something, but let me look at my nav map. If I can find my nav map, here we go. I'm going to show you guys my nav map real quick because this is my navigational map. Okay, so flying out of LAX over here somewhere, LAX and Ontario over here. Normally you'd fly this radial up to here. These paths here, then you'd use the Pomona Vortac for bracket field POC, coming in on the from the 254 radio, flying out of the 73 radio, and then you just fly straight into Ontario here, from what I understand. Now I'm not exactly doing that, but Ontario frequency is 120.6 apparently, and the but I am trying to find the ILS frequency because I kind of want to see if I can manage that. But I don't remember where to find that frequency. I got the ILS for bracket, but that's from the other direction too. I'll do the ILS for bracket field. I'm flying right there. That one I do know. That one's 110.4. So I'm going to go into my radio settings here. And I'm going to put navigation for nav 2 is going to be the ILS frequency, which is 110.4 for, that's the coming off. No, I'm sorry. That's the Pomona. My localizer is 110.5, and I'm gonna put my nav frequency for the Pomona VOR, which is very high omnidirectional frequency radio, stuff like that. Okay, that should work. And then I'm gonna put my comm for the bracket field. I'm just gonna fly into bracket field because I know those numbers here because I have them available. Not going to worry about COM 2. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to go back to you guys here so I can see what you guys are saying and start flying again. Oh, and by the way, another thing I noticed in this game, if you pause the game on the Cessna 172, you're going to die. See what happens? It just sucks. Now on the other Cessna, it doesn't. I'm going to pull out of this. I'm stalling, but I'm going to pull out of this. I'm going to pull out of this. There we go. Woo, that's... I did not die, people, so that's a spin. That's what you don't want. You don't want to stall. I am going really high RPM right now at 145 kilometers per hour. That's bad. I am going to drop that down a little bit. I'm going to throttle down a little bit. I want to lose a little airspeed. I'm going to pitch up a little bit so I can gain a little altitude, but yeah. Do a barrel roll. I'm not doing a barrel roll. You guys into barrel rolls. Maybe I'll try a barrel roll in the other Cessna. I'm not doing any of this thing, man, because this thing is just sucky. I think I broke my artificial horizon too. I didn't hear anything break, but sometimes it breaks things. Even though I have it off, I think my artificial horizon broke. It shouldn't have, but it did. They turned off those things. All right, I'm gonna add some throttle here because I'm losing too much airspeed. You got to keep above 80 knots on this particular plane, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to get it to about 125. I'm going to increase my altitude to about 4,000 so I get the bracket field. I'm not doing a roll on this. I'll do it on the other. Well, at least I'll try. Now, I see. This is also supposed to give me a DME too, and it's not giving my DME. I don't know how many miles I am from. My DME is on, so where the hell is my DME on this? It's not telling me how far I am for bracket field. Well, I'm RPM high. Look at that. I'm going way too high RPM. Now my engine's going to break, and I'm going to die. I'm going to throttle down. Not that much because I'm going to stall. Piloting is hard. This isn't even a sim and it's hard. Look at my RPM. I'm going 160 kilometers per second. No wonder I'm stuck at this, man. If I was out in real life, my engine would be toast. I am throttling down to decrease my speed. I'm really low. I'm getting a little below 2,000 altitude. Not doing a hammerhead. If you do a hammerhead, I'm gonna die. Especially at 2,000 freaking feet, dude. Alright, so I'm wings level here in a second. My artificial horizon did break, apparently. So that's useless to me. I'm going to try to climb to 4,000. I have no idea if I'm even getting near bracket field now because my DMT doesn't work. That should have been bracket field up. Maybe I just passed bracket field. I'm going to pause this real quick. And watch, when I get out of the pause, the damn thing's going to do exactly what it just did. I don't like this particular plane. And it's still not giving me ATC services. Unreal. So I'm going to go to my map again, see exactly where I'm at. I'm flying it. There's KMET, which is on the way to here. I'm going to this KPOC, which is bracket field. So I am going in the right direction. But damn! Okay, so watch what happens when I go back to my flight controls and I take it out of pause. This happens every time. Oh shit, look at that. Every time it does that. Why? Why would this game do that? It doesn't happen on my other plane, but it happens on this one. And when I take it out of pause, all of a sudden the entire flight control goes to crap. Oh, I've never flown a real plane in my life. Are you kidding me? Die. I used to play Flight Simulator, but that was like years ago. So I'm having like literally relearn all this stuff from scratch, basically, because I haven't played in years. And of course, I never got good at it. But I did like the concepts. I love learning stuff, so I just said, screw it, I'm going to learn the concepts of flying one time. And a couple years ago, I kind of did learn the basics. And now I'm just trying to remember some of the stuff, but damn, it's hard. Look at my airspeed, way too fast. So I'm going to slow that down a little bit. I'm going to go down about less than 140 knots. But I still want to maintain some airspeed, because I'm still trying to climb. I'm still trying to get to 4,000 so I can get to the glide slope. But when I do get to bracket field, I can do the ILS. Crash into the sun. The sun is not 6,000 miles away. I hate to break it to you. Like Flat Earth would say. Now, normally I'd be flying in with a VOR on my OBS setting. And you can do that on this particular plane. If it didn't break, I think it's broken. If I go to, I should be able to go to my GPS settings. And I'm not going to explain VOR, but I should be able to put in POC here as the airport, and it'll give me the actual radial to that. My OBS is a bearing of 348. When it 348, that would be heading east again. It'd be heading west. No, yeah. Let me see here. So 348 bearing. Again, it'd be plus or minus 4 degrees from what I understand on your OBS. Omnidirectional bearing selector. Let me put it at 345, whatever. And then my heading offset 3, 4. See, it should automatically adjust it, I thought. Maybe it's broken. What does 348 give me? Should give me almost due east, shouldn't it? 348 heading? 270 is well, my offset's just 384. That's right. So my offset is 37 something. That's my offset. Was it 348? It said. Supposed to automatically put it in. Yeah, which is about due east. Right. So I mean, 90 degrees is due east, but I mean my offset's 348 to get me there. So let me unpause this. Oh, see what it did? See, unpause. But anyways, now I'm on my heading course there. I should put my I should put my header there. Damn it. My heading bug. Just so I remember what direction I'm going, because if not, I'm gonna get lost. When you're flying VOR, it's so, I'm not really flying VOR, but it's hard as hell because you have to know if you're radio in or radio out, and then you have to figure out your intercept. Okay, so. Okay. See what it did? See what it did? Oh, now I'm doing a barrel roll. Pull up, pull up, pull up. Ground, ground. I'm losing speed. I'm losing speed. No, I don't. I hate this game. I'm gonna die. I am flight control. I'm pulling up. I got this. I got this. I got this. I got this. How do you like that? How do you like that? If that wasn't saving my ass, what was? Look at that. And I don't even have a freaking. I don't even have a freaking artificial horizon. My artificial horizon is freaking broken. I got out of that stall. Jesus, that scared me. But look how close to the ground I came. So I'm going to get some more altitude here. I hate that when you pause this game on the Cessna 127, it loses your flight control like every single time. Every single time. I'm just gonna land. I don't care where it is. I'm just gonna find a place to land. Yeah, I hit the dome. I hit the dome. Did you see that? I can't even tell where I'm at because I don't want to hit pause, because if I hit pause, I'm gonna stall out again. And I'm not looking at my. I have a map on my other monitor that tells my exact location in real time. But I'm watching you guys instead, so I'm not watching that. But I should still be heading in the right direction to get to that airfield. Should I not be? I'm gonna try this without pausing it. If I pause it, I'm going to die. I'm just gonna look at my artificial horizon. It's broke dick, man. I'm gonna put this in a little bit of a climb. I keep going wings not level there. Every time I switch to that view there, I take my hands off the yoke to go up here to look at my map here. I'm just going to do a dead reckoning to get to the base over there. So I got to go. Okay, wait. I got to go over here. This is called dead reckoning. I'm just going that direction. I think that's what it's called. When you're going somewhere, you're bearing when you say bearing whatever direction, that means you're going towards somewhere. So I'm just going to head to Brackett Field, which is KPOC. And I'm just going to do it just dead reckoning. I'm not even using VFR or anything. I'm just using my shitty little map here. All right, so I'm going to level out here. Get rid of my map. Oops, I meant to change direction. I meant to change viewing direction, not my flight controls. My flight controls are not responding. God damn it! No! Pull up. There we go. Okay, woo. There's your barrel roll. Well, it wasn't really actually a barrel roll, but see, you got to switch between your view direction and then your flight controls, and there's a thing in between where it doesn't do anything, so you gotta know how many times to tap it or that happens. Ooh, that sucks, man. I don't like that. Alright, I gotta go back east again. Now I totally lost my bearing. And I'm doing a heavy turn. I mean, I was doing about a 15-degree turn there, so even about a 30-degree, which is a pretty tight turn. I should be coming up to the airport. Too low for ILS, I think. Yeah, way too low for ILS. But isn't the airport ahead of me? Yeah, I tried Jesus take the wheel. He was busy. Alright, so I'm good now. I mean, my RPMs are way high. My RPM indicator is right next to the yoke. It's past the red line. So, I mean, I probably should throttle out a little bit. I want to reduce my RPM. You want that RPM between 2,000 and 2,500 RPM, which is 2025. Well, I'm going to reduce my RPM because it's way too high on this aircraft for where I was at. And I'm flying way too low. Now I can increase my power. And I can start climbing again. I'm still redlining a little bit. I'm gonna keep my throttle not full, just so I keep my RPM in the green. As they slowly increase my climb at 105 knots, even though I need to be going faster. Yeah, well, I thought my course was looking good, but keep bearing off to the south there. I'm going to readjust for the east, the direction of 090, and I should be like right in front of the airport if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I'm going to try to level off here. I'm going to try to pitch up a little bit, get rid of some of my RPMs and airspeed. You know, I want more airspeed. Ah, it's too high pitch, too high pitch. See how it stalls there? Although it stalls after the fact, you already adjusted. Is that the airport in front of me? Equipment in. Okay, I gotta go northeast, apparently. Alright, so this should be right on the header at 30 degrees northeast. Should take me right to the airport. Should it not, people? Come on, pilots, help me out here. This should take me right there. Oh, I see it. I see the airport, and I see the ILS. So I'm going to intercept the ILS on a... Normally I would go, like if I'm coming from the other direction, you go downwind. If I was coming from the other direction, I'd go down one leg, and then I would intercept the ILS and fly in. I'm nowhere near that, and I'm just going to cheat, pretend I'm not even doing that. And so I'm going to just go way the hell over here, and I'm actually going to cheat and accelerate time to get over there. So I can just fly into the bracket field on the ILS right there, which is 110.5 frequency. And we're going to see if my ILS actually works in my plane here. I am going 4 times speed here. Which is not easy to fly, by the way, if you're going 4 times speed. Alright. Now, I would switch to El Monte, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to come around to my ILS. Now, if you look on the four columns over, second row, is my nav2. That actually shows the ILS on that frequency for KPOC, which is Bracket Field, which is about 10 miles west, a little northwest of Ontario, where I live, where I'm at. I actually live about 40 minutes away from Ontario. But this should give me a straight-in course for the airport here somewhere. So where's my ILS? It should be coming up here. And then I'm at Bracket Field. Normally you would have to request clearance for runway. I'm going to do a straight-in for runway 08 right, because that has the ILS frequency that I'm setting on. And by the way, I have not died yet, people. I actually flew from LAX Bracket Field here, so let's see if I can actually land this thing. But where's the freaking airport? It should be right in front of me. It's still not getting my ATA services. Yeah, it should be. It's a little bit to my north, but it should be able to see it, shouldn't I? Oh, there it is over here. Damn it. How'd I get so hell over here? Alright. Normally I would just be doing a go around and come all the way around, but again, I'm cheating. Don't do this in real life. Again, don't listen to anything I do. You'll die. But I just want to intercept this ILS. But I want to intercept it at about 4,000 feet. I think for this particular ILS, it's between 4,000 and 6,000 feet. I have looked at the chart for it, and the chart tells you exactly when you want to hit the glide slope. So I'm just going to fly right into it and do a 45 degree and then try to land this. Good luck, people. If you're religious, pray now. My landings are usually better than my takeoffs, but not always. I'm just literally going to do a 45 degree into this ILS, which is really stupid. It's such, and look at my airspeed. I got a way too high airspeed. I'm already going to start kicking down my airspead. I'm redlining. I was like 3,000 RPM. Jesus Christ. This poor plane. This poor plane. I gotta do a little bit more. Alright, now you can see it. Now I'm just gonna like ease on in there to the ILS. I'm gonna lower my throttle. Because basically what you want to do when you land, from what I understand, is a controlled stall. You want to stall like a couple feet over the runway, so you just kind of pop it down. When I get down to about 170 knots, I would hit my flap. I'm going to go full flaps, land. That reduces my airspeed because it increases your drag. So I'm at 10 degrees flaps. I'm going to go a little bit more. Got to give them a little more throttle because I don't want to stall too early. I'm going to go full 30 degree flap for my land though, because I think that's what you do in this particular Cessna. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, I want to land about 80 knots. So I'm just going to kind of like, if you look at my ILS, I'm perfectly aligned, but I'm too high. So the top line that's coming down, if you look at my ILS, which is the fourth thing over, second one down, that top bar tells you if you're too high or too low. So I'm a little bit too high, but I'm right on the glide slope. You want that to be like a perfect X. I'm still a little bit too high, so I got to come down a little bit. I'm going way too fast though. So I'm just going to throttle down. That'll lower my airspeed. It'll also cause me to drop altitude, but I don't want to stall out. I am coming way too high. Okay, so this is a shorter runway, which kind of sucks. So I'm coming in way too high for normal. I am going to go full throttle off. Normally I'd be doing what's called a go around right now because I don't want to porpoise, but I think I can actually land this. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. I'm coming down. I'm coming down. I'm coming down. I'm not center line, but that's okay. I'm going to I'm going to pitch up here in a second, but I don't want to porpoise. I don't want to porpoise. And here we go. Here we go. Throttle. Come on. Come on. I should just land this thing. Land it. Land it. Land it. Land it. And brakes. 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 Oh, and I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to go to, I'm going to assume this taxi, and I'm going to go, oh, this doesn't have auto off. Oh, my other plane has auto off. So I do got a taxi. So, got to turn on my taxi lights. Woo. Normally you would request what taxi heading you're going to do, but this game really doesn't have that very much. So I'm just going to get the hell off the runway, then I'm going to switch planes. I didn't crash. So this is when you contact your ground control. Oops, I'm doing that. And I'm progressive taxiing. I'm going to request progressive taxiing, which means I have no idea what the hell I'm doing, and give me step-by-step taxiing instructions. That's progressive taxiing. I'm going way too fast here. Way too fast. Way too fast. Oh, turn, bitch. I'm just going to stop it here. Okay. Yeah, no auto off. Yeah, really? All right. So I'm going to go to the other plane here to show you the difference because I really want to figure out that problem. I really do. I don't get why this one has such a P factor. Yeah, nobody died. There was no loss of Kerbal life. This is fun though. Isn't this fun? This, like I said, this channel is a catch-all channel. It's for gaming and for other stuff. We do all kinds of stuff. But maybe, like I said, if you guys could help me figure out why the p-value is so damn high on that particular plane as compared to the other plane.
Welcome aboard.
Is there a way to change planes?
Please help tutorials.
I haven't figured out how to change planes in here, like without exiting the game. I don't want to do that. Man, I don't want to have to quit. How do you guys change planes? Hang on one sec. I'm gonna reset this. I know you got a blank screen real quick. It's resetting. But I want to show you the difference on the 208 Grand Caravan. But I don't know how to change planes in the game. I only know how to exit it and go back in. I have no idea, man. I just don't get it. Again, I've only been trying this game for about 6 days.
Help tutorials.
Like literally, I tried this game a long time ago, not the 2020 version, but I tried an older version. I could never get the game to work. It just would not work on my computer. This one actually does with the graphics on the hardware acceleration because it's an amazing computer. Thank you, Bullet Air. I love you, man. He helped get me this computer. But I finally got to work on this computer, but I just have that main problem. All right, so All right, so let me try. This is my I'm gonna change aircraft. I'm gonna go to the Cessna 182, which is no, I'm gonna go to the Grand Caravan 208. So let me fly this one. I can't do the Learjet. I've tried Lear. I've played before Lear. I don't like it with the N1 N2. This one has N1 actually, gauge, but I don't understand the Learjet. And Learjet, you're going to have to do GPS navigation, which I don't know much about, trying to do the nav points. I just do VFR, and I understand VOR flying, but unfortunately, it's very hard to put in VOR at the same time flying in this particular game, because you saw what happens when I pause the game. Jason, $2. Thank you, Jason. This is the first super chat I've had on this channel in ages. So I appreciate that, Jason. $2. Glad you're seeing having fun. Oh, I am. I love this, man. This is great. I've been spending a lot of time in the last 6 days just flying around and having fun. Because everybody else is like spewing drama and getting all stressed out, man. I'm like, I'm flying, man. And I'm going on vacation next month. Like I said, I've already got my plane tickets to actually literally flying out of Ontario. Can't say where I'm going or details yet, but you'll know eventually. And I'm going to be streaming where I'm going to. But yeah, it is fun. The whole drama stuff with everything gets put aside, when you're just playing. All right, so on this particular aircraft, as you can tell, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit similar. I'm going to do the pre-flight checkoffs because I want to make sure that I don't do anything wrong. This one doesn't have a book, though. Do you notice this? It doesn't have a book for the pre-flight, but it does have pre-flight available. It has the auto start, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to do the checklist, pre-start checklist, just like I would anything else. So you can see that I do the exact same thing, but it works, right? So my doors are closed. Fuel selectors are both on, which are going to be up here. See, the other plane doesn't have that, so I'm going to turn both fuel selectors on. Control prop level forward is this one. Now, this is weird. Maybe you guys can figure that out for me as well. I can't move this with the mouse. I had to figure out that it was actually N on the keyboard where you can move this. Now, what this is you're feathering. If you lose an engine, you can feather the props on a variable pitch prop, which means that you can change the pitch of it. So if you lose an engine, you can make them parallel with the oncoming airflow to reduce drag, right? Because if you lose an engine, the last thing you want is to lose airspeed and lose drag, have excessive drag. So that feathering allows you to change the variable pitch to make it parallel rather than more at an angle, which cuts through the air, right? For lift. Correct? I play Divinity, and I play Saints Row, and I play Witcher too. Yeah. That's my games, baby. Now, I haven't played Divinity in a while. And Saints Row, I started playing, what is it? Right Out of Hell? And Witcher, I got to play Witcher 2. Oh, I don't know why people are upset when I have fun. It's weird. It's weird. Life is good right now. I don't get it. I don't know. It's weird. Like I said, I'm going on vacation. I'm meeting up with somebody who I care with about very much. I'm able to play games. I'm able to talk to you guys. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why people hate that so much. All right, so battery condition. This is my battery here, and if you want me to zoom in here, I can do that. So it says battery. I'm going to turn on my battery because I don't have my alternator on yet. Flaps are up. Check. They're over here. If you want to zoom into there, these are my flaps, 10 degree, 20 degree, full flap, which is 30 degree. I have them up. I have my seatbelt off, but I'm going to turn that on. These are over here. So my seatbelt and my no smoking sign. All right. Checklist good, right? Awesome. Let's go to my startup checklist. Fuel pump booster on. That's down here. Check. Starter switch here on. And my oil pressure rising. Woo! I have Linux on my laptop, and I also have a VM with Linux that I use because I was learning how to do Python, and so I set up a virtual machine just for Python programming. I don't know if it flies well because it's in a VM, and this is a very memory-intensive game, but I don't want to do Linux on this particular system as like a dual boot that I've had before on my other computers. It's very, very touchy when you do that, and I don't want to mess it up. So even though I prefer Linux for most things, I'm going to keep Windows on this machine. But maybe on my other machine I might, because I have another computer that I was playing Witcher on. It needs a new fan. Matter of fact, I'm going to help if you guys can help me out to find a new fan for this other computer. Would be great. The CPU fan went off. I have all the information for it, and I cannot find a CPU fan that matches it. I don't get it. Fuel condition, low, idle. That one here. I had the same thing here. I can't move it with the mouse. See, it doesn't work, even with the middle mouse. Nothing. I have to use M for it. Oop.
Parking brake off.
Oh, I don't want to brake.
Parking brake engaged.
Okay. So this right here is my mixture. I'm going to turn my mixture to full. Oh, my low, I don't want my low. Oops. I don't want. I went too far. I want to get the low level idle. Okay. My N1 is about 20%. That's your low pressure vacuum in your engine. That's up here on that gauge. Okay, and I want that one to be above 20%, which it clearly is. If you can see, 20% here, so it's at 60%. You want, obviously, you want it somewhere in the green there eventually, but yeah, so it's above 20%. My starter switch goes to off, because I'm no longer starting. And this is another thing I noticed: the mouse doesn't work on this either to stop it. You got to push the middle button. Weird. Fuel pump to normal, which is right here, and then my ignition to normal, already done. Avionics, I want to turn my avionics on, which are down here. 1, 2, or... Oops. No. Just push buttons so it works. There we go. So my avionics are on. My nav lights are here. My beacon lights here. Oh, no, wait, that's not my beacon light. There. What light's this one? Strobe light. I will keep the strobe light on. And I'm going to turn my taxi lights on, even though I'm not taxiing. Seatbelt lights on, and no cabin light. Don't need anything for de-icing. I'm not doing anything that requires de-icing or instrument meteorological conditions. I am sea flying. I would die instantly if I tried AMC. I'm not going to do that. And then I'm going to close this. I'm going to go to my other checklist. That tab is hard. Normally you would taxi to runway. My transponder, I'm going to turn to Alt. Okay, so that's on. Transponder on. Squawking 1200. Parking brake is going to be off.
Parking brake off.
Okay, now I'm ready to take off. Now, wait, nope, my pre-takeoff. Damn it. Parking brake on. All right, well, I guess it wants to be on.
Parking brake engaged.
Fuel condition to high idle. Okay. Elevator trim for takeoff, which is here. I'm going to put that to... Oh, I guess it's 10 for this particular... yeah. I thought it was 20 actually for the... When I read the specs for this particular plane, it says the manufacturer says suggested 20%, I believe. But this game says 10, so I'm going to do it for 10. Strobe lights are on, landing lights are on. Pitot heat is required. I don't need that. The pit-off tube is basically it's parallel to the inflow of air, and what it does is it detects air pressure for your instrumentation, and you don't want that to get iced over because then you use vacuum and you don't have any of your instruments, or you don't have a lot of instruments, and that sucks because even though you're doing VFR, you still want to know certain things like your wind speed and altitude and all that would be gone if your pit gets blocked up with ice. And there is an alternate way. I think it's this down here, if I'm not mistaken, where you can do that emergent. I think that thing right here, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. One of them allows you to do alternate ways to get airflow to get your vacuum, but you don't want to lose your vacuum in flight. That would be very, very bad. All right, so transponder. To all, which I already have. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to try to take off, and again, I'm not very good at takeoff on these things. I'm just not. But you'll see that it's a little bit better than the other one at least, even though I still suck at it. I'm going to go parking brake off.
Parking brake off.
I'm going to go full throttle. Oh, I'm going to turn my taxi lights off. And my landing lights off. Now watch what happens. Hopefully this will be a little bit better takeoff, but still going to suck a little bit because again, I cannot stay center-line with the controls I have. I don't have an actual throttle, rudder setup, so I'm just using mouse and keyboard. So I try to keep it centerline as possible. When I get above, this one tells me V1, which is the speed you don't want to abort. I want to rotate at V2, and I want to climb up at V2. So I'm increasing. So at V2, I can actually start taking off at above 100 knots, I think it is in this particular plane. So I've got positive rate of incline. I've got, looks like about 5-degree vertical speed incline on the horizon of my VSI. I'm going to increase to about 4,000 feet. And get my airspeed up to about 140, 50 knots. This one I think it cruises at 175, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just going to just chill on this. But you see how much different that was? It doesn't pull like the other one. I can actually, now I'm at the inner marker for, right? Which is, kind of weird. It sounds like that sounds like a warning sound, but it's not. It's just telling you like the inner marker. And then I'll get to the medium, or the middle marker in a second. There you go. So I know that I'm passing the middle marker for that particular airport. And I'm going to go more eastern direction as I increase my altitude. Yeah, that's a pretty good takeoff. That's not bad compared to the other plane, right? I'm still going to increase my rate of climb at about 5% here. 5 degrees. Not really too much, but you get the idea. But anyways, yeah, that's fun. Now I'm gonna go to 4,000. I'll try to do a barrel roll. Now this one, by the way, when I pause, watch what happens. It doesn't take me all over the place like the other one does. Yeah, the engine is rather loud. Sorry about that. I don't know. Can I adjust the audio on that? Environment. No, that's weather. I don't know how to change the sound. If you guys figure it out, I can definitely lower that. I can do it on. I guess I can do it in OBS. There, I'd lower the audio in OBS. See if that's any better. Is that better? I can even lower it more. One sec. I can see here. I'm gonna black out for a second, but I'm gonna go way lower audio, so that way you guys can hear me better. Flight controls it, and see what happens when I do that. It doesn't do like the other one did, but it should be much easier now. I'm not handling a thunderstorm, man. I hate thermals. I really do. Especially on that Cessna 127. Holy crap! Does it bounce you around? This one doesn't do so much, but I want to get to about 4,000 feet. But I want to show you something real quick. So, just to show you something, I can actually go. I can actually equipment. And I can open a map here, and what this does is it shows me. This is how I usually fly when I play The Sims. This shows me the map where I'm at, right? So it shows me from the Los Angeles airport if I'm going to like directly, to Brackett Field. I'm going to Ontario over here. This gives me an idea of where I'm going. It gives you all my information too. And this is the local FlightGear thing using your local 8080 port. So I think that's kind of interesting. That allows you to do that actually. So that's how I normally would fly. But I'm looking at you guys in the chat. And by the way, I am in Discord if you want to come in. I hope you guys can see that. And so I'm going to unpause this. So you notice I could tab out just fine in this particular thing, and it doesn't like stall like it did on the Cessna 172. Yeah, this one's a heavier plane, so it doesn't bounce as much, right? So let me get up to about 5,000 feet, and I'll try a barrel roll. I'll speed it up a little bit. I don't want to speed it up too much because you can lose. When you're pitch up, you're really losing airspeed really quickly, obviously. So the stall speed on this plane I think is 80 something. So I don't want to stall. I'm going to level out a little bit. But I'll get to 5,000. I'll do that. Try to do that barrel roll. Is 5,000 too low? Maybe I should try it like well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know much about barrel rolls. That if 5,000 is too low, but we'll get there. I'll get there faster this way. Alright, so I am at 5,000 feet. I'm leveling off. And here we go. Barrel roll. Alright, go down. Was that a hammerhead? That's a hammerhead. I'm blacking out. I'm blacking out. Can't hold out to. No! 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 I can't pull out of this when I'm blacked out. This is the sound of death. This is the sound of death. I'm trying. I'm looking at my altitude meters. I'm doing my instrumentation. Yes! I survived! I survived. That's a hammerhead, though. That wasn't a barrel roll. That's a hammerhead. I survived, though. I dropped 2,000 feet, though. Wow, that was rough, man. That was rough. All the McCrazy going, God damn it, he didn't die! Alright, let me try to do a barrel roll. Oh, barrel, yeah, hammerhead's going up, that's right, and turning while stalling, you're right. So what is it I just did? I don't remember. A barrel roll would be more like this, right? That's more of a barrel roll, right? Oh, shit, I go too far. Is that a barrel roll? Alright, I'm going to try to do a hammerhead. I'm just going to go up and straight up stall. But I got to get some airspeed here. Alright, ready for this? Hammerhead, hammerhead. Going straight up, vertical, vertical. I am completely freaking vertical right now, I think. And I am starting to stall. I'm starting to stall. I'm stalling. I'm going to get some airspeed here. And I'm going to dive, get airspeed, and pull up. Without breaking my plane. Because normally you get the G-forces, man. This plane I set for, I think, for not breakage, but I don't know. I should have broken something, probably. Is that close enough? I mean, I did stall, right? So I got the stall warning. Is that a hammerhead I just did? Because you're right. I think a hammerhead is when you go straight up and you stall and you pull out of the descent. That was fun. I need to get a real pilot in to help me, actually do some VOR stuff. I don't think I've crashed once yet, have I? Yeah, I do like playing some F-16 games, but flying an F-16 is way different on your HUD. It's just a whole different style of flying. Again, okay. I need to get some. I need to get some altitude before I try hammerhead. I don't think it goes. I don't know if I was going straight up. It looked like I was purely vertical, but let me get some altitude and I'll try it again. Look at my artificial horizon and tell me if I'm going straight vertical. But I'm gonna get to 3,000. I'm gonna get to 4,000 feet before I try, or 5,000 feet again before I try this. This aircraft I think has a ceiling of about 15,000 feet. Oops. Oh! That was way too fast. I don't know. I know on the Cessna, the other Cessna is like 18,000, I think, is your max. I don't fly at 18,000 feet, but I do low level flying, 5,000, 7,000. I might go to 8 or 9 or 10, maybe 12. I've tried a few times, but usually on those types of flights, you meet meteorological conditions, right? I mean, if your ceiling is 5,000 feet, where I live, most of the ceiling when it does get overcast is 5,000. And so I don't do IFR, and I try to stay VFR only, so that's why I don't fly very high. Plus, you start getting ice conditions. All right, so I am at 7,000 feet right now. I'm going to do a hammerhead. Here we go. Here we go. Vertical, straight vertical. think I did a roll. Wait, that was a roll. I did a loop-to-loop. I didn't do a hammerhead. That doesn't count. See, pulling out. Let's try that again. I want to go straight vertical. I can't get any more vertical than that. This is not letting me. Yeah, I have fuel consumption off. I understand the concepts of the fuel, but I don't want to have to worry about fuel. All right, let me try that again. Straight up. Ah, see, I keep going around. I don't want to go around. Damn it. Now I'm going to crash and burn. Yeah, that was a loop. Right. Let me pull out of this. Woo! Damn, I'm sweating here. I can't do a hammerhead. I can't go straight up. I can't get the necessary conditions to just stall. I'm trying one more time. I'm pretty sure that first one was about as close as you can get. All right, here we go. I'm going straight up vertical. I'm trying not to, there's my stall warning. But it's not. I'm going to reduce thrust. I'm reducing throttle. So I'm a pure stall. I'm going straight up. And I'm going straight down. Woo! Full throttle and pull out. Woo! Whoa! No ground conditions. Too low. Vertical sink. Too low. Climb. All right, I'm landing this bitch. Before I get somebody killed. Somebody's going to take this to heart and try this in real life and blame me. I'm gonna fly out here a little bit, and then I'm gonna fly the ILS in. Yeah, look out to the side. Yeah, if I do that though, I can't fly the plane. I need a separate flyby for that. Right, I'm just gonna do a 45-degree into this ILS. I am way too low here, way too high of a bank angle. Do not try this at home. But I'm just going to try to intercept this particular ILS. And I'm going to try to land the Cessna 208 B Grand Caravan. Not a single crash yet. All right. I'm going to throttle down. I'm going to go flaps. I'm going to go flaps 20 till I lower my airspeed. YouTube Surgeon General, $10 towards your favorite vice. Thank you. I do need to get some whiskey. I bought some other stuff, but it lasts me forever. I don't drink that much. I haven't had anything for a while. All right, I'm at flaps 20. No, I'm at flaps full. I don't know the ILS frequency, so this one is not going to match up, I don't think. So I'm just going to have to visually land this plane. It would help if I had the ILS frequency, because my nav2 would show that, but I don't have that. All right, but I am wings level. I am right in the corridor here. I'm just going to control my knots so I don't land on somebody's houses here. Raw necklace, $5. What's your call sign? I don't know what it is for this plane. We're gonna, you know what? If I could manually set it, I'd set it for November Kilo Bravo 6er Hotel Zulu, because my ham radio license was KB6 HSZ. But that's way too long for a call sign. But I was squawking 2400, but I don't know what my call sign would be in this particular plane. But we're just going to call it November 6er Sierra Bravo. Zulu, sorry. All right, here we go. I am coming in here. I am pitching up, getting ready to start putting on my brakes. I am wings level. I am flying right in. I want to land about 80. I'm going to pitch up a little bit. I'm a little bit high on my speed, but I think I can manage it. Did not pilot in the runway. Did not divot the runway in any way. And I have a perfectly executed... Well, that wasn't anywhere close to perfect. But now this particular plane, I can actually go Cessna auto short down. Supposed to auto shut. And I'll shut down. Yeah, oh yeah, that was way too low coming in there. Way too low and too high of airspeed. But hey, I landed it safely. They say any landing you can do that you can walk away from is a good landing, right? So I pitched up just right. I mean, I landed pretty smooth. I didn't bounce. But I definitely wasn't on the ILS very well because I was a little bit too high. I think you only want to be a couple thousand, a couple hundred feet off the initial runway, right? Les Peter Jam, 20 DKK just to support. Cheers. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I want to do more stuff like this on this channel. I love playing games on it, and I'm doing flight stuff lately. So if one of you guys want to join me on Discord the next time, let's talk about VOR. Let's talk about how to navigate to an oncoming to and from radio. Like on this one, I can put it in the GPS and it does most of that work for me, which is kind of nice. I can go to the GPS settings and I can just put in where I want to go. I'm going to say KLAX. It'll search for it. And then for the direct to, it'd be 167 bearing. It tells me that it is a distance of 18.8 nautical miles, which is, pretty relatively close. And then if I want to put in the OBS, I can actually link it to my nav1, and you can see here it actually changed. It actually changed it down here, and then I can put my heading in to match that 167. So it tells me where to fly on my OBS to intercept that radio, right? As I understand it. Again, because I can go to the VRs. I don't know any VRs off the top of my head. I think POC isn't POC the VOR? I know that's the airport, which should be pretty close. That's 33 nautical miles. So maybe put a link to the Discord server on this. Yeah, I could do that next time. Most people here already know the Discord. I don't use it that often. So when I do stuff like this, it's like, just jump in the DDC Discord. But yeah, this was fun. Thank you guys. I kind of nice chilling today. Tomorrow, I think we are going to be doing a call-in for judgment call. A lot of stuff going on the next couple weeks. Good stuff. Very good stuff. So hopefully, again, we'll give you guys details on that as we get information as far as like the hearing for Kyle and all that. But again, this channel's not really for that stuff. It used to have a lot of that stuff on this channel. I'm moving away from that. I just want this to be a fun channel where people can play games and just come talk and have hangouts and things of that nature. Because things are going really well right now, and I'm just enjoying myself, and I don't see why not. And by the way, somebody's going to take that out of context, but that's fine. Let them. I don't care. But that's great. Thanks you very much. And if you guys want to fly with me, please let me know. Like I said, eventually I might, as I learned how to do this stuff better, I might eventually invest in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, but right now would be not a good idea to do so because this is way beyond my level. I don't know enough to that level of intricacy, and this is a free game here, so I might as well learn how to fly the basics on this particular game here. I recommend anybody just go download it and and let's fly. Let's do some flying stuff together. I really enjoy it. This plane right here, I literally learned just the other day. I've never flown this plane before until segmentation fault had said, hey, why don't you try a different plane? And some of the other planes I tried had that same P factor. I couldn't get off the runway. This one didn't have that problem as much. This one I can actually take off relatively easier than the Cessna 172. So I don't know why that is, but see if you guys have the same problem. Yeah, and if I had more table space, I would probably invest in a joystick and throttle and pedals even for the rudders and controls and stuff like that. Yeah, if I was really into flying, I absolutely would spend the money. That would even be a problem because I think flying is one of the funnest things on the computer. I really enjoy it. But it's just I don't have the space for it on my table right now where I'm at. Hopefully I will be moving eventually. I know I was supposed to move last year, but unfortunately the landlord changed his mind. But he is this year saying he's not changing his mind. He is selling. So eventually I will be moving. And hopefully and by the way, I'm probably going to be moving with him. So we're not moving very far. We are moving to a different house, though. He's selling this house, and he wants to keep everybody together for right now, so that's kind of cool. No big deal. You think Jens says MS isn't more real? It seems to be the case. It's got like I said, much more detail as far as the realism, and a lot more people play it, obviously, and obviously it has that real life ATC control, which I wouldn't know how to do. I listen to ATC and I know what they're saying for the most part, and being in the military, you do know how to do comms. You do know have to repeat things back, right? When somebody says, feed pump watch, start number 2, feed pump, maintain, 2600 psi, whatever. You have to be able to repeat it back to them. And that's kind of what it is when you're flying. You have to think really quickly. And you also have to think, where am I actually at? Where do I want to go? And there's a billion things going through a pilot's mind, and I don't know how they do it. I really don't. I just blows my mind that anybody can get an actual real life pilot's license, because they have to know so many different things about the rules, the regulations, and be so aware of their instrumentation. It blows me away that anybody's smart enough to do it. And anybody who's able to do it, you guys are geniuses, because this shit's hard. It's just hard. It's just not easy. You need the Discord link? Sure. One sec. Doesn't somebody have it? I don't even know where I'm at in the Discord. I'm in the streaming room. That should give you the Discord link right there. Yeah, no, I like realism. Again, it's not really that realistic either, but again, I have auto coordination on. Normally you would have it so you would, be able to do the rudder control independent of the yoke. I don't have it that way because I cheat. It's just easier to fly that way. But I am learning about, how all that works, how the rudder works, the ailerons, the trim, the lift, the drag, and I have understood those forces for. I know how planes fly, but understanding them and putting them into practice are different things, right? You can understand all the concepts in the world, but when you're flying and you don't know what's going on to what you should do, if you should, put flaps in and out. Like for example, I watched this video where this guy had icing conditions, and he lost one of his engines, and instead of feathering it so he had low drag and put the flaps to full off to off, he didn't adjust his flaps right, he didn't adjust his feathering right, he ran out of fuel and crashed. These are all things that you've got to take into account for emergency situations. And in the military, you have a book for emergencies. You have literally an emergency book that you go to, and it's called emergency procedures. And in any emergency, you're supposed to open up that book and follow it verbatim during an emergency. Now, the reality is, during a real life emergency, and there's lives at stake, you don't actually have time to open that book. But at some point, you do need to open it. At some point, you have to. That is a mandatory thing, no matter what the emergency is. At some point, you go to the emergency procedures. But when you're flying, I don't know how you would do that very easily, right? I mean, you've got split seconds, right? So. And by the way, YouTube says in general, I will happily give you mods. There. But yeah, come on in here if you want. But I'm gonna be yeah, I know you mod that Discord. Well, I think you have mods. Yeah, I think you have mod on that Discord, if I'm not mistaken, don't you? I'll give you mods in here, so you want to post it. But if you want to come on in, nobody's in here right now. I'm all alone. I'm lonely. So lonely. No, I'm not really. But I will be ending this soon, so if you're going to come in quickly. How long have I been going? Too long, probably. But I'll give you a few minutes to get in here. But what else do you guys want to know about? This was fun. Like I said, I'm going to be doing more of this stuff, and maybe I'll try to explain VOR flying navigation. It's old school. A lot of the VORs are making way for GPS approaches and things of that nature. So, but what happens when the GPS goes down? What happens if you lose your GPS? VOR will probably be around for quite some time because it's this old school way of navigating. But it can be very confusing really quickly because of your to and from and what radio you're trying to get to and adjusting your OBS to get there appropriately, right? So, are you in here? Did you get in here, YouTube? No, you didn't. I don't see you in here in the Discord. Do you want to get in here? But I'm gonna do a quick auto start real quick. And I'm just going to see if I can take off here without any P forces killing me like I did before. On the other plane, at least get a semi-decent takeoff here. So I'm at Whitcomb, departing runway 12 to the east, apparently. And normally you would ask for clearance and get clearance, but this game doesn't have that, so screw it. Let's take off the emergency brake and go full throttle. Ooh, and here we go. 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 Trying to keep it centerline. Trying to keep it centerline with the rudder. It's pushing. It's pulling. It's okay though. It's okay. I'm at V1 soon. V1. Go to V1. Go to V1. Give me V1. And give me V2. And I'm not fast enough to take off yet. Now I can pull back and I can start taking off. Here we go. Right at the end of the runway. Yes. No, I wasn't fast enough. Oh, there we go. Okay, I got it, but I went off the runway. That sucked, and I stalled. I didn't have enough runway to get to V2 to rotate and get off the runway there. I need to be at least 80 knots or something to even start to do a vertical. So whatever. Anyways. I keep stalling. Alright, anyways. I can't pause this. It's not letting me pause. I'm just gonna land anywhere here. I'm gonna land in a field here is what I'm gonna do. Sorry people. I'm just gonna land. I'm gonna land in, I think in this game, if you land on the here, it crashes, but I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Let's just land this bird. Land it. I'm probably throttling way too low. But consider this an emergency landing. Right on top of buildings. I don't want the parking brake. I'm just braking. Why am I going backwards? I'm just braking here. I'm not doing the parking brake. I'm just using regular brakes. I don't know. This game's weird sometimes. Going down. Still didn't die though. This rotating. I don't know what the hell's going on. Okay, that was weird. But I didn't die. Yeah, this plane can't brake. Yeah. Oh, I landed on top of houses, so I would definitely be not existent any longer. I don't know why I was going backwards. I didn't have reverse thrust on. That was weird. You can reverse thrust in this particular plane. It does have reverse thrust, but I wasn't doing that. Plus, the brakes weren't. I don't know why. I kept doing the parking brake. It wasn't doing the actual brakes. Which is weird. Maybe this is different. B is parking brake here, but Shift B should be regular brakes, or comma if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Like I said, I've looked on the Cessna 127. B is brake, and then Shift B is the parking brake. This is a different skin, so this is a different model. So all the controls are different. So you gotta learn the keyboard controls. Now, did anybody come in here in the Discord? Because if not, I'm ending this. I'm gonna look one more time on the Discord. Oh, and if you want to look at some of the other stuff that I do, this is like here just right before I end. This is the airport diagram for Ontario. You can listen to live ATC, which is right there. This is my actual map that I try to fly with to look at my VRs. This is a guide that I found for the COS, the Cessna 208, to tell you when to do flaps, right? 10 degree, 20 degree at 150 knots, 30 degrees at 125, and when you take off your flaps. So this kind of gives you some information, what I've been looking at to learn this kind of stuff. And then you can go to the actual airports, like Ontario Airport. It tells you all the information you need to know about it. As far as frequencies, the VORs that you can fly out of. If you want to go to the tower, if you're on ground, and then they hand you off to the ground for taxiing. So there's a lot of stuff on this crap, to be honest with you. This was the one I found for Bracket Field to find out if it had ILS coming in from east. and west. It does. I think it has the ILS on 3 out of the 4 runways, if I'm not mistaken. One of them it didn't. I don't think 8R, I think it was, didn't have ILS. I don't remember specifically. But there you go, man. And this also, the sky vectoring has it as well. Gives you some details on the airport. So what happens is I want to learn like one airport pretty well so I can practice, you know. If I know in theory what it's supposed to do, right, then I kind of get an idea of what I'm looking for. So if I can figure out if I can get Ontario Airport and LAX down pretty well, then if I apply those concepts to a different airport, it should be pretty similar, right? So FlightGear is free. This is a free program. Yeah, FlightGear 2023 as open software. Go check it out. Go play with it. And let me know what you guys think. And then I might be doing this, next Sunday. But for the rest of the day, I am taking off. I am going to go offline for probably some time. Do my own thing. I got some people I wanted to call and just chill today. It's a chill Sunday, right? Rest free for Sunday. And then tomorrow we'll hopefully have a judgment call if possible. We didn't because of last week because I wasn't feeling well and Chester has some stuff going on, but we need to get back into that because they were fun. And that's about it, guys. I'll see you later on. Thank you for all your support. Love you guys. I look forward to flying with you. So, Jens, I think you're an actual pilot, so come help us out, man. Give me some information. I'll contact some other pilots that I know too, and I know that segmentation fault flies. I don't know if he does in real life, but I know if I definitely know he does the sims. So let's learn together because I think this is fun. This is one of my favorite things to do is fly, and I haven't in a very long time. I just started again about maybe 2 weeks ago, I guess it was, if that. So forgive me for if I made any faux pas, any mistakes, because I'm for all things considered, I'm brand new learning how to fly, even though I tried some time ago. But I am a pure noob VFR dude. But I'm getting it. I'm getting the concepts. I'm a pretty quick learner. So hopefully you guys are too. And see you in the skies.